So, as I said, this is the last panel session of Hyvolution 2020. I would like to thank all the audience for being still here. This is great. Please come and listen to those very two nice people here with me. It's very interesting to talk now about what some of the great actors of the industry, not really related to hydrogen in the first instance, are now coming to hydrogen, which is a sign that hydrogen is really a market that is growing. And I would like to thank our American friend here, Jeffrey Benoit. You are Vice President Global Power Services with ANSALDO. You will tell us who you are. And Emmanuel EDELINE from ARIANE Group. So ARIANE Group, I guess everyone has a better image of what it is today. And I would like to start with you, Emmanuel, because when I knew that you were joining us, I said, yeah, the circle is completed. Because decades ago, ARIANE Group was a big user of hydrogen and still is, right? You have developed an enormous amount of experience and competencies and technologies for hydrogen. And now it's no longer the rockets. You're coming back and you say, there is a market growing. We can bring something to help, right? And I think this is the way you are now jumping into the game with this new hydrogen energy vector arising. So, Emmanuel.
Yes, in December, last December, we celebrate the 40 years of hydrogen mobility with ARIANE. So it seems surprising, but ARIANE was, the first ARIANE was 1 ton loaded hydrogen. Now ARIANE is 25 tons, and the new ARIANE 6 will be close to 30 tons of hydrogen. When we know what is 30 tons of hydrogen is something fantastic. So we have developed this competence starting at the beginning of the 60s, and we have developed all what was necessary in terms of technologies, in terms of components, subsystem, test bench also, because nothing existed 50 years ago. So we have to develop all that, and now we have all those competences in terms of technologies of hydrogen, handling of hydrogen, and really, we think there is something to do, including for ARIANE Group, with this technology, with this knowledge, with this capability, with those capabilities in terms of testing activity. We have a fantastic testing area in Vernon with 1,000 of tons of hydrogen.
1,000 tons.
So it's something, okay. So what is really important there is to try to make available all that. So we tried 20 years ago to propose hydrogen technology for mobility, fuel cell, gaseous tanks, liquid tanks, and so on. And at this time, there were really no interest. Is to say everybody told us we will use oil until the last gram of oil, and the same for coal. And now, really, there is a new vision. All the doors are open for the development of hydrogen, and I think really we can participate to that. Part of our capabilities have been developed with institutional support, and now all that is available to help the actors we will not go we will go in the EV mobility where liquid hydrogen is necessary, and we can propose technologies, we can propose solutions. This is really the important point.
Okay, you will tell us that in more details after. Jeffrey, you're coming from another industry, again.
That's right.
So tell us, because I'm pretty sure that the audience does not really know what ANSALDO is about and what you're doing first.
Sure, thank you. I think the first thing I wanted to say is it's delighted to be here at Hyvolution. What I want to also mention is that one of the things that we're really interested in doing is enabling our customers to be able to consume hydrogen. Now, I'll give you a little bit of background of ANSALDO. ANSALDO Energia has been around since 1995. We are one of the 4 major original equipment manufacturers of advanced gas turbines for power generation.
Gas turbine.
Gas turbines, which of course can consume hydrogen. We are based in Genoa, Italy, with divisions in the United States and Florida, as well as in the Netherlands. We have gas turbines that range from 60 megawatts to an advanced gas turbine that's 380 megawatts. And just to give you a matter of perspective, a 380 megawatt gas turbine, that amount of power can power about 500,000 homes. So we're talking about very large pieces of equipment. And with that comes the opportunity to consume hydrogen as part of the fuel source.
So we're talking about big size, huh? A big size, lots of hydrogen, and big turbines, small toys, hundreds of megawatts.
Yeah, I think we're talking about huge volumes of hydrogen, and looking at where we are, particularly from the mobility space, and now talking about the power generation and the grid space. It's a matter of the gas turbine technology following along with the available fuel supply. One of the big challenges in the market, and particularly for us, is having the right combustion technology to be able to consume that hydrogen in a very clean, low-emission way. And that's one of our core competencies that we bring, particularly with assets and power plants that are currently already located around Europe, where with a simple retrofit where the actual combustion system can be removed, we can install a retrofit of advanced technology which will allow a significant amount of hydrogen that can be consumed. Our roadmap is to get to 100% hydrogen, but it really is the challenges of delivering that amount of hydrogen for these power plants.
Okay, and do you have concrete projects already to illustrate that potential? I mean, you have existing plants with you're burning natural gas, and you're talking about replacing this natural gas without replacing the whole plant, basically.
Right. Yeah, we do actually have one exciting project that completed back in 2018 in the Netherlands. This is a power plant that supplies steam to a chemical plant right next door. One of the byproducts of the petrochemical process was hydrogen. The chemical company, out of corporate stewardship as well as local regulations, could not flare the hydrogen, and they wanted a way to use it in a way that could satisfy their needs. The power company was able to take that hydrogen, and what I'm talking about here is probably on the order of 30% hydrogen by volume, which is about 9% of the energy density, 9 or 10%, and mix that with the natural gas and burn it in the gas turbine. The emissions, the NOx emissions came down, and it really improved the operability of these gas turbines. Mm-hmm. The other opportunity where we're very excited is we're in a consortium right now in the Netherlands with a number of folks who are here. For example, GasUnie, MTech, Vattenfall is here, Nouryon, and we are developing the same combustion system and scaling it down for a sub-2 megawatt machine with the OEM's name Opera, which are based in Hengelo, Netherlands. This will provide an opportunity for immediate use in, say, an industrial park, combined heating and power, where the combustion system will be able to range between 100% natural gas to 100% hydrogen. And with this advanced combustion technology that will go into the machine, we'll be able to do it with very low emissions and very stably. So you don't rely on a constant amount of hydrogen. We recognize as the market matures that the amount of hydrogen will become available. So it's just a matter of future-proofing these gas turbines.
But what would be the target? I mean, 2 megawatt turbines, it's what for? Where do you use that?
2 megawatt turbines, these turbines right now are being used in the marine application. They're also being used in hospitals, and various small industrial parks. So if you can imagine an industrial park is able to procure hydrogen made from renewables and then use that hydrogen injected into the gas turbine, you now have a zero carbon footprint power plant by using gas turbines. And that's really the benefit of gas turbines burning hydrogen, in that you can significantly reduce the carbon footprint of the infrastructure. Almost to the point that we're saying that eventually we'll get to 100% hydrogen, which will allow gas turbines to remain a vital part of the grid, but also be carbon neutral.
Okay, thank you very much, Jeffrey. Emmanuel, Jeffrey mentioned marine. I think that would be a perfect target as well for the kind of competencies that you have developed for such a long time in Ariane, because I guess that you are really focusing on the very high density, high power systems. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly. Is to say that I think we could be a player. We can provide technologies for like liquid hydrogen. And liquid hydrogen is interesting in terms of application for EV mobility, high power, and so on. So this is really what we are looking for. So we are in discussion with several players. Player of the mobility, high power mobility, so aeroplane. It could be also maritime application, and also big player of energy. So what we really want is to try to provide our technology, our knowledge, in terms of safety, in terms of design. For example, the main engine of Ariane 5, it's close to 3 gigawatt power engine.
3
so
gigawatts.
3
Okay.
gigawatt, 3,000 megawatt. So it's we have this specialty of high energy system. So it's where we can play, where we can be useful. So it's the reason why we try to propose our support or our technologies or our knowledge with such application.
Okay, so you already know what you want to provide, and do you know how you are going to provide that? Are you just opening the door and say, this is what we know, this is what we can do, this is our experience, and now who is willing to play with us? Or what's the, how do you...
In fact, the vision we have for the moment is to try to have from the actors of hydrogen, the regions, the lands, some feedback about what they need, what could be useful, what are the priorities. And with that, we will propose some solution, we will propose to participate, to help, to use all these capabilities, engineering capabilities, test area capabilities, in such a way we can play a role in the preservation of the planet. And this is really for us a very important goal we have inside ARIANE Group. ARIANE Group has been somewhere built to make affordable space for the benefits of humanity. We are also involved in a security system, and there we want also to play a role in the preservation of the planet.
So you're telling us that you have a sort of mission, sort of.
Somewhere, yes. I think it's a very, it's somewhere a dream to play this kind of role. So we will see if our technology, if knowledge are welcome. 20 years ago it was not the case. I think the rules are, the situation completely changed. And this is really exciting.
Yes, you really think that there is a main difference between the times back in 20 years ago and now? You really see a totally different landscape.
I think the safety is now ready to accept, but also to promote this change. And this is completely different.
Okay, that's a very good news. So I hope that you will help some of the players in the industry to to develop that very high power system that we need. And if we remember a previous panel with CMB, for example, with their boats, they clearly say, well, we have to go for it. We are building now the boats that will be on the sea for the next 40 or 50 years, and this has to be done now. Right? That was a strong message. Jeffrey, when you talk to your customers, who existing customer base, with this opportunity, how do they react?
That's a great question. One of the things is, the first thing they say is, how soon can you do it? Because they're being challenged by the regulatory environment and being pressured by their end consumers. We're talking about power companies here delivering power. They're being pressured by their end consumers to address the issue of decarbonization. They're saying it in terms of climate change, but they know it needs to be done. The challenge they have is they're not in the market for brand new equipment. They want to look for a quick, easy solution where you can replace an existing system in the gas turbine, a small portion, replace it, and then be able to meet the mandate of lowering their carbon from their standpoint and from the regulation standpoint. So those are the things they're saying, and of course it needs to make sense for them as well. I think what we'll see already is hydrogen being injected into the gas lines, the distribution. Italy is looking at almost 8 to 10% hydrogen by volume. The UK is looking at somewhere on the order of 20%, really a matter of the issues with sealing and fireproofing those pipelines. But it's coming, and it's just a matter of time. So the platform, the combustion platform that we have can scale from 1.6 megawatts, be used in marine applications, can be used in oil and gas applications, all the way up to these very large gas turbines. And being able to look at almost every single gas turbine that exists in Europe today and have a solution today that can begin to help that transition that we're going on is really something we're really proud of.
So all the customers are feeling the pressure of what's going on with the planet and the regulation that is coming. So you really see your customers are asking for a solution. That's clear.
That's exactly what we're seeing, and that's what we're trying to understand. And the reason that they're coming to us, and the reason that we have the current project in the Netherlands, and we have hydrogen projects for power companies in the United States as well, is they know that there are ways to do it with advanced technologies. It's something that they recognize. Gas turbines are a vital part of the power grid. They are able to handle the volatility of renewables. They're able to be the backbone of the future, current and future power grid because of that versatility, and they want to continue to use it. When they go to and eventually approach 100% hydrogen, you're now talking about gas turbines being part of the decarbonization discussion.
Okay. Emmanuel, for last words, do you have already engaged contact with a number of industrials saying, hello, we're here, we know the subject, we can help?
Yes, in fact, we have a lot of exchange with everybody, because you understand that when ARIANE Group arrived and say we propose solution, we propose technology for liquid hydrogen, people say yes, they are welcome. So the point now is to build, I would say, a strategy in such a way we can enter in this conversion, in this change, with a good solution. That's a solution that the people is looking for. And during these 2 days, I had a lot of exchange, and I verified that affordability of liquid hydrogen is a subject, is really a subject. So I think we can be part of this development, yes, I hope.
Okay, this is great. As a form of conclusion for those 2 days and 10 panel sessions, as far as I'm concerned, I'd like to share with you the reason why I came into hydrogen and why I love it so much. I used to work in the telecom world, and I've seen the revolution from voice to data with something that was an enabler. And that enabler was IP. Not the best solution for every application, but a solution for all applications. So that sort of a ubiquity, I immediately thought of that when discovering hydrogen, because hydrogen is exactly the same thing. It's an energy vector, it's a molecule that maybe not the best candidate for all applications, but it can serve all the applications. And clearly, from day one, I thought that hydrogen was the way to go. And I would like to ask you if you share that analogy, but clearly what is at stake is much bigger, because what is at stake is not making our life easier with iPhone. What is at stake is the future of the planet.
That's a great question. Well, just to give you some perspective, 41% of the CO2 generated every year is from the power industry. We know coal plants are being shut down. We know nuclear plants are being shut down. The carbon intensity of gas turbines is about half of that of coal. However, for us to achieve the requirements for keeping global warming down, ensuring that we have hydrogen as one of the fuel sources for the power grid, for gas turbines, is absolutely vital. And that's something I'm really excited about.
Last word, Emmanuel?
I think that hydrogen is one of the answer of a sort of mixed energetic. It's a sort of gaseous or liquid electricity, in fact. So we have to try to find the better way to use all the different options. And from my point of view, this is really the key.
Okay. Thank you very much. Welcome back to the US. If you go back to the US, welcome back to
Normandy.
Normandy, okay. Welcome back to, I don't know, but thanks to all, thanks to the audience, and we hope to see you next year. Bye.